What is going on, guys? My name is Forge here on this channel, Mr. Supply Drops. Today I wanted to talk about the idea of Deadlock potentially being a launch title for the Steam machine. Now, there's a couple different reasons why I've come to this potential conclusion. The Steam machine, if you aren't aware, is Valve's upcoming console/PC hybrid, basically like the Steam Deck, but a lot more powerful and in a console form. Now, Valve has already confirmed that they are looking to release this sometime this summer, so it should be coming very soon. Now, for anyone who is unaware, Deadlock is Valve's upcoming MOBA shooter hybrid, and this game has been in an invite-only early access for about 2 years now. Now, if you look at Deadlock and the current state of the game, we have not heard anything about the next major update. It has been about 150 days since the last major update, and Valve hasn't said a single word about what we could be seeing with the next major content update. Now, that makes me wonder if the reason they're not telling us anything is because this is going to be the largest update so far, because this is going to be the update that they finally release into an open beta. And the Steam machine, I believe, would be the perfect excuse to finally do this. Now, another reason I'm thinking this is because Dota 2, if you look back at that game had a similar early access period. It had about 2 years worth of invite-only access, and then it released to everybody else. And I think that that could definitely happen with Deadlock. The fact that they had an invite-only system like this to begin with, I just really feel like it could be kind of similar. Now, of course, this depends on where Valve actually wants to be with this and how far along they are with whatever next major update they're currently working on. But I've seen comments about certain things that need to be done before they release this game publicly. Things like hero character model rework. For an example, Yamato, because this character, of course, is completely unfinished. This is a character straight out of Neon Prime, which is what the game was originally called before they changed it over to Deadlock. It was a sci-fi theme, and Yamato was never updated for the current art style. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff could have, and actually based off of this exact example, has been worked on already months and months ago. This is the leaked hero rework for Yamato. Now, it could look wildly different from what it does here because this was all the way back in October 2025, but the point is there's a lot of things that they have been working on and have worked on for a very long time that they just haven't added to the current release of the game. It doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of work completed for these things, it just means that they haven't released it currently. And I truly do believe they could just release all of the things that they need to completely finish this game in one large update. Things like the Walker rework, the Jungle rework, mid-boss rework, all the different heroes. Now, this wasn't being done in the last 150 days, like I just said. This has been worked on months and months before that as well. It's just stuff that didn't make it in the last major update. If they did all of this, I think that the Steam machine would be a great way to play this game. Now, actually, now that I think about it, though, they might have to add some form of controller support because the game in its current state with controllers is not great. So hopefully that is in there. And I know the Steam controller is a little bit different than a typical controller, but it's still a controller and not a keyboard and mouse. So I do think that they would need to make some adjustments for that, but I figured that they would do that anyways. Not only that, but the Steam Deck as well. But all I'm saying is this would be the perfect time for them to release Deadlock alongside their brand new Steam machine that a lot of people are currently talking about. Now, I do want to talk about the Steam machine for 1 second. I do wonder how expensive that is going to be, especially with the current memory crisis, the shortage, or whatever you want to call it, where everything when it comes to RAM and memory in general is just incredibly overpriced because of all the AI data centers that are basically buying up all the manufacturing of this memory. Now, that does make me a bit worried for the Steam machine because if you look at the Steam Deck, the price has gone up quite a bit because of this. I'm glad I got my Steam Deck. I'm glad I got my Steam Deck when I did because, yeah, I would not spend this much for a Steam Deck if I'm honest. Like, it's a great machine. That's a little too much for it. Now, I also heard people talk about Half-Life 3, but they've been talking about that for a while, so I'm not exactly sure. But it would be kind of cool to see that finally drop, especially after playing Half-Life Alyx back a few years ago, and that was a fantastic game, so it would be really nice to see what a Half-Life 3 could look like. Although it would be kind of interesting if there was a Half-Life Alyx 2, because they're also making a brand new VR headset. Either way, going back to Deadlock, I really do believe this would be a great time to do it as long as the game is actually ready. Of course, I don't know what Valve is thinking when it comes to Deadlock. I don't know how much they actually have done and how much needs to be done fully, but at the end of the day, the game is in a very playable state. I mean, I guess you would need a little bit more to draft system, some progression. I don't know, but I've seen games launch with less. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think this game needs all that much right away. Maybe it's not ready quite yet. Maybe this game is a little bit more complex than Dota, so it takes a little bit longer to cook. I don't really know, okay? I don't, but it's fun to talk about. And like I said, if the game was ready, I think the Steam machine, again, assuming they add controller support, would be fantastic for this game. But that is going to wrap up this video. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here and you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.